As most of the world becomes increasingly urbanized, many countries are increasing in their number of poor areas. As the number of less affluent areas increase, the air quality becomes worse and basic urban services decrease. The expansions of cities increase at a rate of 1.5 times that of the population growth. This causes a need for more transportation systems. To address many of these challenges, 152 countries work together to develop national urban policies that support sustainable urbanization. Although progress is being made, efforts must be increased to ensure that all urban inhabitants have access to safe housing, clean air, and basic services and live in sustainable communities.
By 2030, the UN ensures to provide access for all to adequate, safe, and affordable housing and basic services to upgrade slums. They also ensure to provide access to safe, affordable, accessible, and sustainable transport systems, improving road safety, notably by expanding public transportation with special attention to the needs of those in vulnerable situations. Lastly, the UN ensures to significantly reduce the number of deaths and the number of people affected by disasters and sustainably decrease the direct economic losses relative to global gross domestic product caused by disasters, including water-related disasters, with the focus on protecting the poor and people in vulnerable situations.
The UNFPA works with the UN system and the civil society to advocate for the prosperity and sustainability of increasing urban communities. The UNFPA ensures access to essential services for people moving into new urban communities. The UNFPA is also in partnership with UN Habitat, and they work to help support sexual and reproductive health in poor urban areas. They also work together to promote gender equality so they can help eliminate gender based violence in urban residents. The UNFPA works with many people in the government and UN system to help rebuild many of the rundown urban neighborhoods.
It is very hard to believe that it will all be possible to fix all transportation problems in cities and communities around the world in such a short time period. All of the variables that go into completing this goal by 2030 are way too complicated. For example, the cost of all new roads and vehicles for urban slums will be an absurd amount of money. Another difficult thing to fix would be decreasing the amount of deaths because once again there are many other variables such as drug abuse and crime in less affluent areas. Lastly, supporting developing countries is difficult because there are many other issues between such countries.
In 2015, when the UN announced all of their goals for 2030, about 4 billion people, which is 54% of the world's population, lived in cities and is going to keep increasing as the years go on. The rapid increase of urban cities and communities is resulting in many problems, including an increase in slum dwellers and air pollution, which makes these communities and cities much more vulnerable. Since the UN has put the goal of sustainable cities and communities, much progress has been made around the world. Starting in 2014, the number of slums around the world decreased from 39% to 30%. As of May 2017, 149 countries around the world were putting many urban city policies in place to help keep people in order. They are home to over 75% of the country's urban areas.